We'll end with some social media questions for you, Ace. David Cato on Facebook. You're a great advisor. What advice do you give others the most? What advice do you give yourself the most?
I started to really think that, like, you know, as we learn more about the body, fat is good for you. Like, it was all the puffed chips and eat a bunch of carbs and stay away from the meat and cut away the fat. But as it turns out, the fat is good. It satiates. Whole cream is better than skim cream, skim milk. So we didn't like the word fat because it had the word fat in it. And I feel like we have that relationship with the word work. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to work, or, oh, work's a bitch, and works. And I feel like if you embrace work, like, it's a sort of a thing where there's that move where you're out in the ocean and you're in waist-high water and a wave is coming, and if you try to scramble back onto the beach, you're just going to get tumbled like Dick Van Dyke. Dive into it. Just sort of go ahead. Your best chance at getting through that wave and popping up the other side is just to kind of do that with work. And I've sort of had that relationship with work in my early part of life. Is I don't want to work. I got to get out of work. How do I avoid work? And then at a certain point, you realize it's got the word work in it, so it's got a sort of negative connotation. But it's good for you. You should have a relationship with it that's not adversarial, and you should kind of embrace it, just like you should embrace discomfort. Like, embrace a little inflict a little pain on yourself. Get up,
inoculate yourself, so when you get hit with it, it's not like you're the boy in the bubble. You got to put a little in as we go along. A little duress.
I have a pool. The pool's freezing. It's not heated, and every morning I get up and I dunk myself in the pool, and then I get up and go to work. I inflict pain on myself, and it helps.
And I think you told me you dress as Katharine Hepburn when you do that, because she used to swim off. She said the key to starting her day.
Films me from a jib.
What's the most helpful thing that you've learned about addiction after all these years of working with Dr. Drew?
You know, he's always said, because I think people want to quantify it. They want to go, you drink? How many drinks? How many beers? How many beers do you drink a day? When do you start drinking the beer? And what Drew's always said, and I think it's a fair way to approach anything, porn addiction, alcohol addiction, substance, video game addiction, there's a million different potential addictions these days. It's not all just, it used to just be booze or cigarettes or whatever. Now you could binge watch the Kardashians all weekend, and that's a form of addiction. He said, in the face of adversity, do you continue? Meaning, you've gotten a DUI. Are you still drinking? Your boss has called you into the office for being late a couple of times because you're hungover. Your wife has said, hey, no more Fortnite, otherwise I'm moving out. Like, do you continue in the face of it? It's not really how much Fortnite do you play. Look, if you play Fortnite, maybe too much Fortnite. For me, 10 seconds is too much Fortnite. But if the old lady's fine with it, it's not affecting your work, your neighbors are, you get up in the morning, you go to work, you have a good relationship with your community, who am I to tell you to stop playing Fortnite? It's the continued use and participation in the face of the adversity and the negativity. So it's not really about how much you drink, it's how it affects everyone around you.
Never miss a beat. Subscribe to Larry King now and watch new episodes every day.